It is the 20th of September 2017, about 6:20 p.m. Now we are on Charles Street, heading toward West Street. The current tag appears to be black. Note the black shirt worn by that gentleman there. Woman wearing the black shirt, synchronization here with the black coat, black sweater, and that man there appears to have on black pants. So the tag would be black. It appears we'll be looking at some type of synchronization at the corner where the anchored node in front of me will form a blockade. Also note the cigarette smoking. That's another tactic they use, surround you with people smoking cigarettes. Okay. Here we are at the corner, and yes, it appears this node here to the left will be stalking me up Charles Street. Observe that gentleman there with the red coat, this woman here approaching. That may be a man with the red. Okay, so we'll consider a possible tag transfer or the start of the minor tag of red, and that would be a pulse. That was a pulse at the corner. Okay, black there. Unconfirmed. We're approaching a corner to a side street. There may be some activity. And what's going on here? Some type of a congestion. So they will form these pulse points using vehicles and people. Those are what I refer to as roving pulse points, and they allow the other swarming nodes an excuse to crowd your space, attack you with fear-potentiated startles, acoustics. Some activity about 40 meters ahead in front of that blue house. So something may happen when we are aligned with it. And we're approaching a side street. Yes. Okay, so here's some corner occupation here on the side street. No The dog, the black dog. All right, so here we are at the corner. And note that synchronization right there. Synchronization again. Okay, so this is a pulse. We are about 25 meters from another corner, and another common tactic is corner occupation. So the houses on the corners of the side streets that are attached to the central street you travel down are occupied. In this case, there's some synchronization there. You see that, the corner house, and more synchronization here. The black, that is an anchored node. That would be a fear-potentiated startle. That was accomplished with this node using motion, and that anchored node right there using acoustics. Again, acoustics. All right, so this was a convergence point, and there's a common tactic right there too. That is mooning. They have people in front of you bend over. Presumably that is to disgust you. Okay, so that was a pulse at that corner. At the previous corner was another pulse. Oh, look at that anchored node there with a black and white shirt. Okay, there's another one right there. You may not have seen her. She had on a black coat and black pants. We are about 25 meters from the corner of Charles and the Fellsway. There may be some activity, yes. So this sidewalk is blocked. With the dog and the anchored node, the black coat, black pants. There's some synchronization there, and have a look at this synchronization. Right here. That guy's talking on a phone. That would be an anchored node. Have a look at that anchored node right there with the black pants. And the convergence of this anchored node. She's wearing black. The one to the right of her is wearing a black coat. In back of her, that is a black. Look at that right there. So red. There's a black backpack, and that woman right there is wearing black boots. With black pants, a black coat. She has a cell phone that would make her a double anchored node. Another gentleman approaching wearing black shoes and black pants. All right, so this was a poll conducted with vehicular and anchored pedestrian nodes. Right? If we look around, we'll see there's really not much going on here. All of that was precisely synchronized with my arrival at the corner. Continuing along. Now, what typically happens is some type of obstruction on most of these blocks up the Fells Way all the way to Medford Street. Now, here's some convergence here. The anchored node with the black shoes and the black pants. Converging on the corner, right, with the cell phone, double anchored node. I see one person with a white coat and possibly dark pants, unconfirmed. We are about 15 meters from a corner. There may be some activity when we arrive. Have a look at that guy there. Okay, red and white shirt. He had his arm up to his ear as if he had a cell phone. He does not. So let's see what's going on here. And so far, nothing. I see one person approaching. Okay, so we weren't blocked on that corner right there. Excuse me, we were converged upon at that corner by that anchored node. There's some synchronization. You see that, getting in the house, walking in the house, right when we're aligned, okay, synchronization there. So there was some activity on that block. Again here, so this is a mobile barrier with the dog. That would be an unanchored node. Okay. So typically at each one of these blocks, I may be impeded. A lot of times they are people wearing a uniform. In this case, they would be wearing black. I haven't seen any activity at this corner. Okay, we've arrived at the corner. I don't see anything. All right, well, here's some convergence here. This vehicle quickly converging. There's some synchronization there. That would be an unanchored node. Synchronization, nothing going on there on the other side of the Fells Way. We are 40 meters from another corner. That would be Malden Street. There has been some activity, as you may have seen. We'll see what happens when we arrive. Okay, there's some synchronization there. First with the black car, the anchored node that just exited the other side of the Fellsway, and that pulled into a corner house right there, as you may have noticed. All right, we are continuing along, and it seems like some synchronization here. Also an anchored node, that is a black car, synchronized with our arrival at the corner. This is also a mobile blockade, temporary blockade, conducted with an anchored vehicle. Note that synchronization there, the anchored truck pulling into the driveway, more synchronization, and here's a fear-potentiated startle in progress. And again, right? Synchronization. Okay, all linked to the gig. Here's an anchored node here, linked to the gig. These are computer-generated battle swarms. Right, and there's another black vehicle there. Right? That was a pulse. Have a look at that anchored node down there with the orange shirt and the black shorts. And the black and yellow backpack. Another person converging on the corner. Pulse point. All right, continuing along. We are about 50 meters from Malden Street, Medford Street. So before we arrive, there may be some activity at any one of these houses. There's an anchored node there, possibly the same one that drove in with a black truck. Notice he was wearing a black shirt, anchored node. Civilian war fighters or regular forces, there's another one right there. That was an acoustic attack. Note the black shorts, okay? Black sneakers, exactly synchronized with my arrival. And here's a fear-potentiated startle. Black backpack, okay? So you see how this works. And there's an acoustic attack conducted with an anchored node. We already watched that gentleman wearing black exit the vehicle, walk into the house. So allegedly, those were supposed to be two entirely unconnected incidents. So that guy exiting the house at the exact same time we passed, shutting the door, and then virtually riding into us, and then moments later walking past when we were aligned with this vehicle here, we heard the horn. And prior to that, it was the arrival of that anchored node. Okay, black backpack worn by that biker. We are about 20 meters from the corner. Often there is acoustics at this point, maybe a fear-potentiated startle, neuro-linguistic programming. So let's see what happens here. No synchronization at that corner there. All right, here we are. All right, well, here's a converging citizen. So I'm not crossing the street. Because it is a green light. Yes. So, and this is another common tactic. Okay, so there's some acoustics. Note that synchronization. Arrive with this guy here. Okay. FPS there with the U-turn. More acoustics. Okay. All linked to the global information grid. And let's see. All right, I'm walking across the street now. I don't see any pedestrians on the sidewalk, so we'll continue along. So a lot of times these sidewalks are occupied by citizens with dogs, and the dogs, like the citizens, are trained to antagonize you. I see, excuse me, one person approaching about 70 meters away. So, yeah, this guy's wearing dark clothes, possibly an anchored node. We will see. Yeah, so he's taking up the sidewalk, and note the black shirt. Okay, that would be an anchored node there. And the dark black back. Okay, have a look at that synchronization right there. There's so there's also some acoustics. So typically, citizens displaying both the tag, in this case it would be black with some yellow, and the sports logo, in that case a Bruins shirt. So a lot of times that is part of the Impact Sports theme. Okay, so those are PSYOP products to promote a theme. And that is also synchronization. Okay, she's walking in the house. Right there, synchronization. Continuing along the Fells Way, one black vehicle just exited that side street. We're arriving at another corner. There's some synchronization there, slightly offset, not exactly, oh, there's an acoustic attack, not exactly synchronized with our arrival, yet synchronization, more synchronization. That was a black car, that was an anchored node. So this is a pulse here. And here's a red vehicle. So all synchronized with our arrival at the corner, all swarming warfighters, wirelessly linked to the gig. Okay, more synchronization, see that? We're continuing along the Fells Way. Soon we'll be approaching an apartment complex. There is typically activity in the lot. And I see some activity right there. You may be able to see that. That is a dark vehicle, person exiting a dark vehicle. See that? Okay. So that vehicle may be black. Also note the blue vehicle. All right. There's a brighting attack. And yeah, so this vehicle here is positioning to block me. All right. See that? And the driver has on a dark shirt, possibly black. All right, Chase. So that is also an acoustic attack. Blocking, acoustics, brighting. Here we are at the parking lot. And we may see some activity here. If so, oftentimes the citizens will be anchored. People arriving or leaving. Not this evening. We are approaching the corner to a parking lot. There has been no activity at this corner. Okay. I just looked over to the other side of the Fellsway and I was about to say a lot of times directly across from the corner, this corner here, in corners in general, there's some activity. Well, that is like a type of parallel synchronization. Corner occupation, vehicles, activity at corner houses. So, yeah, a woman just got out of a car, walked into one of these houses. Other than that, there's not much going on. Usually cross the Fellsway at this next corner. Typically what happens is an attack at the corner and then another one on the other side of the Fellsway at the opposite corner. And at that opposite corner right now, I see a black vehicle, and you may be able to see that. Okay, we are approaching the corner, so let's see what happens for synchronization. And there's some synchronization there. Another black vehicle. So that black vehicle exits, another black vehicle turns down the side street. There's some synchronization there. All right, here we are at the corner, and yeah, some activity there. Not quite at a corner house. So let's see what's going on here. All right, crossing the Fellsway, and here is, all right, so this is some activity. This is the other side of the attack. So first it's there, and then there's another one at this corner, and in this case it's done with an anchored node. That is a black vehicle. Synchronization there. There's an acoustic attack, a brighting attack also with the lights. All right, We are about 80 meters from the corner of Riverside Ave. Before that, we may observe some instances of synchronization. Let's see what's going on across the Fellsway. People exiting or leaving, arriving or leaving this store. Nothing. Here we are at a corner. So far, nothing. Okay, we are arriving at, after this corner, we will be arriving at Riverside Ave. There may be some acoustics at the gas station to our right. Neuro-linguistic programming, perhaps a psychological action, and maybe a fear-potentiated startle. Here we are approaching the corner. And let us observe, I see one person with black pants on that corner. 80 meters away. That guy there's got on black pants. Okay. Black shirt, black shoes, leaning against the vehicle that was partially obstructing the sidewalk. Okay, once again, that anchored note there. All right, walking past the gas station. And there's a fear-potentiated startle right there. All right, so NLP, FPS, acoustics. Okay, we'll be walking across the street. Let's see what happens. Okay, here we go. So these vehicles converge here. Okay, see that? So those vehicles quickly converged to block me in this lane. Before that, there was no movement. I'll walk around this vehicle. Let's see what happens. Okay, there's a fear-potentiated startle right there. You see that? Okay. Okay, and another one that was done with an anchored node. Okay, so you see how this works. All linked to the global information grid, all directed by artificial intelligence. There's a brighting attack right there. So this is a white vehicle. Now, when I see that guy with a red hat lingering right there, that tells me there may be a tag transfer. So we're attacked with brighting here. This guy with the white shirt and the white vehicle. The other pedestrian that we see has on white right there, okay, with a red hat. Continuing along. And what's going on here for synchronization? So far, nothing. There's an acoustic attack, right? So they have a fleet of loud vehicles that they surround you with, okay? And there's another anchored node right there with the black. The black pants. Okay, here's more synchronization. She's got black pants. He's got black shorts, black shoes, black pocketbook. There's another citizen with black pants getting into a white vehicle, right? Synchronization, those kids are probably already linked to the gig. Okay, the adults show them how to apply the instructions that were transmitted to them by way of artificial intelligence. Here's some more synchronization with an anchored node. Note the black pants, see that right there, black shoes. Right? So all of this precisely synchronized with my arrival. Okay, and there's some more commotion there with the anchored node. All right, so here we are at the parking lot. I'll be shutting this camcorder off. And the synchronization there. Another brighting attack, acoustics, okay? All linked to the gig. Okay, I was just physically attacked in Harbor Freight by a customer. The store was not busy. This guy collided with my left arm in an aisle. Store was virtually empty. Right when I walked out the store, that red vehicle there turned its lights on. So here's some synchronization here. Really no pedestrian activity other than this guy. who is synchronized to converge at this point. Okay, so there may be some acoustics as well. Yeah, synchronization there. All right. Yep, there's the acoustics. Okay, here's some more synchronization. Okay. Looking around, I don't see any other vehicles converging. The thing is, there are vehicles in this lot. It's just there's not a lot of moving vehicles. So that one vehicle there synchronized at that point. And this vehicle here brightening me with the lights. We are approaching another set of corners. Here's one. There may be some synchronization here. And another one. Perhaps a fear-potentiated startle. So far, nothing. I don't see any pedestrians. No activity at this corner gas station. Let's see what happens when we're aligned with its corner. Okay, we are parallel to the gas station. So far, no activity. All right. There we go. Synchronization right here. This vehicle turning. That is synchronization. Okay? Continuing along Riverside. All right. We are just about at a corner. So the light has just turned red. We're walking across the street. Fear-potentiated startle and a brighting attack, and that was done using an anchored node. Right? That is a black vehicle. Okay? So that attacked us twice. First with convergence and with, okay, that is an acoustic attack. So that was a pulse at that corner. Fear-potentiated startle, neuro-linguistic programming, acoustics. I don't see any activity from here to the corner. We are approaching the corner of another side street. There has been nothing at this point so far. And nothing. We'll note that loud vehicle. I see one person approaching about, 50 meters away, wearing dark shorts. And let's have a look in back, see if there's anyone. Okay, so here's some parallel synchronization. The only people we see will be synchronized to arrive at the same time. So this guy here, and that person there, right? She's wearing black. Looks like a black shirt. So out of the very few, the only pedestrians I see, there's a Brighting attack there. The only pedestrians I see on each side of Riverside Ave were synchronized to pass me at the same time. Those things happen sometimes. However, at times like this, when there's just nobody around, that type of synchronization is unnatural. Okay, so here's a not quite a fear-potentiated startle. This is a mobile barrier, so I'm being prevented from crossing the street. And just, again, consider the synchronization. All right. Okay, here we go. We are approaching another corner where we'll be taking a left. I see some people on the other side of the street. You may be able to see them with a cart. So I'm guessing this is going to be some possibly a blocking tactic. Yeah. So again, just check out the timing here, folks. Look at this. No other people around, okay? So they have arrived precisely to block me. There's another node right there, okay? Okay. Black. Look at this. Look at this. Look at that. All right. We are approaching a building There's a parking lot to the left. There may be some activity. And yes, it appears so. All right, some people, one person there, about 40 meters away, wearing dark clothes, possibly black pants. Yes, those are black pants. So this is synchronization, an anchored node, right there. Okay, so artificial intelligence directs them to converge at certain points. So that was synchronization with an anchored node. Those guys back at the corner were wearing dark clothes. The older gentleman certainly was. The other guy who ran after me was wearing dark clothes. Don't know if they were black. All right, so here we're crossing, and wait for this vehicle to go. Now, let's see what happens at this set of corners here. I haven't seen any activity. Here we are at the corner, and okay, here we go. There's some synchronization right there. Okay, right there. There's also a brighting attack, and that may be, yeah, that is a black vehicle. Okay, anchored node. More synchronization. And what's going on here? This is normally an empty lot. That grocery store is closed. So other than that bank right there, that ATM, there's really not much that would normally be going on. Okay. So we will note the activity here. Now what's going on here with this bus? That was stopped to the side for a while. Now it's taking off. Okay, here's some convergence. This vehicle with the lights off. Okay, note the synchronization. Look at that synchronization. Okay. So this vehicle is parallel stalking me. Also observe that guy right there who just walked away from the bus stop. Noise. We are approaching another noise. We are approaching another set of corners, and yes, one black van just exited the lot. There's some synchronization there. And what else is going on? We are just about at the corner, and yes, here's a brighting attack in progress, and that was synchronized with some acoustics. Synchronization there, acoustics, brighting, and looking around, I see no other mobile vehicles. Synchronization. We are approaching the corner of Route 16. There may be some activity. at this point. Okay, there's some noise. All right, linked to the global information grid, part of a fleet of loud vehicles. Hasn't been that noisy to see. Okay, what you just and again, all right, so those were two instances of acoustic attacks. Notice how they were both synchronized when they were parallel to me. Traffic lights, in my estimation, also linked to the global information grid. So this gives the multinational force the precision control of traffic that allows for the exact synchronization of weapons and tactics. Crossing the street and one vehicle approaching. Yeah, no other vehicles approaching, just this one here. So there's some synchronization. All right. This is Route 16. Usually the citizens on the other side of the road are anchored. In this case, they would be wearing black. I don't see any pedestrians right now. Some noise. All right, the only pedestrian I see is on a bike. They're wearing dark clothes, and that shirt looks black. Right, so the only person we see on Route 16 is anchored. And there's another person that just emerged from the side of that bridge, and I don't know what they are wearing. All right, at this point here, there is often, not always, one last attack. So when I reach this corner, someone from in back may pass closely with a bike, perhaps a jogger. There may be an acoustic attack. There may be someone waiting with a dog in this area here. So far, nothing except for that person right there wearing the dark shorts. Don't know if they are black. All right, there's the acoustic attack. There it is.